Lego was created over 100 years ago, and since then, a lot has changed. From 1956, when they made the first ever Lego set, the garage with an automatic door, all the way up to 2024, having just released this auspicious dragon set. No one could have ever imagined just how far Lego would come. But how much have they really done? Well, today, I'll be going over the entire evolution of Lego sets, so strap in. Let's start with the first set Lego ever released, set 236, garage with automatic door. This set was a part of a theme called Lego Town Plan, first introduced all the way back in 1956. It had a whopping 59 pieces, and look how simple it is. It features just a white base, a door frame, and of course, the garage door, which, by the way, wasn't even motorized. And to top it off, this set didn't even include a car, but its counterpart, set 236-2, did include what we know as the very first Lego car, a 1:87 scale Volkswagen red bus. While the first Lego car really is quite impressive, keep in mind that they look like this. Not really anything similar to what we know today. However, that all changed in 1962. Here is one of the first sets with real rubber wheels and a studded wheel plate. Now that's much more like it. This was a huge step in Lego's evolution, because when I think about Lego sets, some of the most memorable sets and themes ever are vehicles that couldn't exist without this. 1962 was a milestone year for Lego, but it's for a much weirder reason than you may think. Once they started making these rubber wheels for their sets, Lego actually started to become the largest tire manufacturer in the world. And while this is much bigger than this, I guess they're kind of still the same thing, right? With rapid innovations like this wheel, Lego opened the floodgates, improving with each release from then on. Next, we're going to jump forward a little bit in time to the great year of 1965. During this year, the most important thing going on wasn't the space race, and it certainly wasn't the infamous Flintstones cartoon. No, it was the release of the 001 Gears set. This set could arguably be considered the father, or should I say grandfather, of the Lego Technic theme. The set only featured 43 pieces. However, it's the details that made the set so special. It sold for about $5 back then, which in today's money would be a little under $50. The interconnected gears and wheels made this set one of the most technical sets Lego had released at the time, although the standard wasn't that high back then. That would all change though in 1978, when Kjeld Kirk Christiansen had a genius idea that marked a new era for Lego. Kjeld called this idea the system within a system, and what this really meant was that Lego was kicking it into high gear. First up was the Lego space theme. It was an instant hit. The space race was the talk of the town, so this was the perfect opportunity for Lego to make a move. The first set released under this theme was the Lego Space Cruiser. This set was a clear step up from anything the world had seen from Lego in years prior. There was a brand new logo slapped right onto the front of the ship, marking this set as part of the space theme. Along with this, there were some new minifigures too. The set featured 2 white astronaut minifigures and me. No wonder it did so well. After this, Lego continued to make groundbreaking sets, the likes of which we'd never seen, like this Viking Line Ferry Viking Saga set released in 1982. This set was one of the very early collaboration sets released by Lego. It was released as a promotional set for the company Viking Line Ferries and is one of only 5 sets that have been made under the company's name. The set is only 207 pieces and doesn't come with any minifigures, but the look of the boat is super clean. The contrast of the bright red and blue bricks on solid white is a really good look, and to be honest, this boat looks like it might even be able to float on its own. I'm not sure if Lego was trying to make flamboyant boats or not, but regardless, this one looks pretty cool. After a while though, fans were starting to get a little bored. Even though Lego was definitely upping the ante just about every year, people wanted more. So Lego thought to themselves and asked, what can we do to spice up our upcoming sets and give fans what they're looking for? Well, they landed on an answer, and that answer was minifigures. All this time, minifigures had the same face in every set, just a simple little smile. And while that's all well and good, I can see how it would be boring after a while. With that in mind, Lego made one of the most impactful decisions of their entire career. I introduced to you the Black Seas Barracuda pirate ship. Released in 1989, this is the first Lego set to introduce minifigures with different faceplates. While it's not anything crazy by today's standards, back then this was monumental. Finally, the fans got something new, and the best part was that this innovation had an endless amount of possibilities. Faceplates are a super important part of both minifigures and Lego sets today, so this step up truly was a turning point. Unfortunately though, soon after this wonderful idea, Lego made a very big mistake. The success of Lego wasn't just a straight line up to the sky. They had ups and downs just like anything else that succeeds in the business world, but this one was a little drastic. In 1992, for some odd reason, LEGO decided to fire a bunch of the designers who made the sets from the 1970s through the 1990s. These are the same people that made LEGO what it was at the time, so firing them was an outrageous move. Nonetheless, it happened, and for about 8 years, LEGO was in the dark ages. It wasn't all bad though. Two of the most iconic themes of the modern era were released during this time period: LEGO Star Wars and LEGO Harry Potter. These days, there isn't a single person who likes LEGOs and doesn't know about either of these themes. Whether it's the massive sets from the Ultimate Collector's series or the giant Hogwarts castle set, everybody's heard of them at least once in their life. Their success wouldn't come until later though, so unfortunately for LEGO, they were still in the red. That was until 2005. After being down for about 8 years, LEGO finally decided it was time to switch gears and get their head back in the game. They decided it would be best to focus on their core products, and with this, they reintroduced the Duplo theme that had been retired a little while ago. From here on out, it was smooth sailing. They started releasing video games, which as we all know became super popular. Aside from that, they released both the LEGO Games and LEGO Power Miners theme. They didn't last crazy long, but they did decently well for the time. Leave it to LEGO to hit another turning point though. In 2007, they released one of the most iconic sets of all time, which has been remade a bunch of times since its original release. I'm talking about the Millennium Falcon, released in 2007. This was part of the original Ultimate Collector's series, and is one of the most sought after sets in all of LEGO. This is a little interesting to me though, because 3 years earlier in 2002, LEGO had released a gigantic Imperial Star Destroyer, but for some reason the Millennium Falcon became the headliner. It doesn't really make much sense to me, but it's whatever I guess. Anyways, the Millennium Falcon was a pivotal moment in LEGO history. Since it became so popular, it showed LEGO that they can easily make sets with more childlike themes and aim them for adults. Some of the most popular sets in recent years have piece counts that are through the roof, and this set is what made that the norm. It had an outstanding 5,219 pieces, which was absolutely insane for 2007. This wasn't the end of LEGO's creativity though. In 2008, they launched the LEGO Ideas program. Originally, it was actually only in Japan, just in case it didn't work out. They had no reason to be timid though, because as we know today, LEGO Ideas is one of the most popular programs ever made by LEGO. Since 2008, 54 fan-made sets have been made into real sets that you can actually buy. Considering it's been 16 years, that really isn't a lot of sets. I guess that just goes to show how picky the people over at LEGO are. LEGO Ideas was a bit of a slow burn though, and at the time LEGO needed immediate success, and their next big move hit the nail right on the head. In 2011, they revealed one of the most popular themes of all time, LEGO Ninjago, and with this theme, they dove right into the deep end. Along with the first sets they released, they also aired the famous TV show Ninjago Masters of Spinjutzu. The show went crazy, raising the sales of sets under the theme exponentially. It seems like LEGO saw the success of LEGO Star Wars and noticed that people are much more willing to buy something when a story is involved. Knowing this helped a lot in Ninjago's rise to stardom. The show has an incredible 4.8 star rating as of today, making it the highest rated LEGO show of all time. Their success in the media industry didn't end there though. Just 3 years later in 2014, the most historical LEGO project of the modern era shocked the world. Of course, I'm talking about the LEGO Movie. There wasn't anything LEGO related that was cooler than this, and the sets that came with it were even cooler. Not only did we get to watch the crazy story of Emmett the minifigure, but we even got to build his beloved double-decker couch, along with 17 other insane sets straight from the movie. My personal favorites are the Super Cycle Chase, Trash Chomper, and Metal Beard Sea Cow sets. Just like before with Ninjago, this was a theory that LEGO had already proven. If you made good media, people will want to buy products for it. Right around this time period though, LEGO was kicking it up a notch in a totally different department. I'm talking about the LEGO Technic sets, and from there on out, they were out of this world. Since 1977, LEGO has been perfecting the Technic line, making sure the sets are more challenging and much more rewarding. The amount of bangers they had in 2015 though was off the charts. Like, check out this 24 hours race car set. This thing is a beast. Even though it's only made up of 1,219 pieces, it has all the functions of the Technic cars of today. Considering this set was released 9 years ago, I'd say that's pretty impressive. In 2016 though, they dropped the very first LEGO Porsche 911 GT3 RS. Today, this set is a staple of the Technic line and is loved by just about everyone. It doesn't end there though. In 2017, they released this awesome LEGO Air Race jet, which looks just like a fighter jet, but in this super cool lightning blue color. Okay, I know I jumped a few years there, but I mean, come on, I had to. These sets are so cool. Going back to 2016, I want to talk about a set that at first glance doesn't really have much significance. This is the Fun in the Park set. While it doesn't doesn't look like much, there's actually a minifigure that marks a very important date in LEGO history. This is the baby minifigure, and its first time seeing the light of day was in this set right here. Now, even though LEGO had made smaller figures in the past, they were nothing like this one. First, there were the shorter legs that could be swapped out on any minifigure. Then there were the micro figures that were made to be launched with the LEGO games theme. And finally, there were nano figures, which didn't really have a reason to be made, but nonetheless were really cool. This baby minifigure is completely different though. It has a whole new body mold that was specifically made for itself. The creation of this little guy sparked the idea for so many different versions. Now he has different outfits, facial expressions, and he even comes in a nice little blanket. Let's move on from that though, and talk about one of the most anticipated LEGO sets of the last 5 years, the LEGO Coliseum. The Coliseum was teased way back in March 2020 before its initial release, and as soon as the internet got a hold of it, there was an instant demand for it. The set wouldn't release for another 8 months, but when it finally did, fans everywhere went crazy. People were scooping this thing up like nobody's business. The set comes with a jaw-dropping 9,036 pieces, and since it was aimed more for adults, there are no minifigures to be found. It's regarded as one of the biggest and most sought-after LEGO sets of the modern era, and I can definitely see why. If you thought that was cool though, wait until you see what LEGO's doing now in 2024. This is the Polaroid Camera LEGO set. This is another one of those sets that when the internet got a hold of it, wanted nothing more than for it to be released. But there's a bit of a twist. This set was actually made by a fan and published onto the LEGO Ideas website over a year before it was finally released. I personally saw it in the early days of its lifetime, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Now that it's actually available for purchase, there are some sick details that make the set even better. It comes with these 3 Polaroid replicas and a case to hold them in. The Polaroid camera retails for about $80. I suggest you get yourself one before it's gone, because this one's definitely making it into the LEGO history books. What was your favorite LEGO era? Be sure to let me know down in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe.